What's happening, fam? Uh-oh. L.A.R movement still moving. Book and title. Lessons from a non-custodial father. Amazon Kindle Create Space. Does the gender war have an agenda? What's the gender war's agenda? Like, I don't have a problem saying that I love black women and I want and I would prefer to be with a black woman. But I can't say that is everybody's perspective. Also, I can't say what the gender war's agenda is because it's cool to edit grievances. 'Cause we should do that. But in airing our grievances, nobody is. It's a constant argument and moving the goalposts. And even when solutions are put on the table, people are too lazy or prideful to actually compromise. So now what? What's gonna happen at the end of the day is war begetting war begetting war begets war begets war. Like what? Because for us men, we're saying, look, do we want our women? I guess so. I don't think we have all these grievances if we didn't want to be with our women because we would just stop talking to them and leave them alone and just go somewhere else. Like, look, man, y'all not, you know, y'all don't want to fuck with us. Y'all don't want to work with us or compromise with us or meet us halfway. Then shit, this is a waste of time talking. Um, but I guess the women don't get that part of it. To them, everything is bashing. You can't anything we say that's a grievance is bashing. So the agenda comes off as just making them feel bad. I guess whatever. Um, the women's agenda. I mean, do they want black men? Uh, I mean, does it look like it? Not. I mean, some do. Some want other non-black men. Some want to be lesbians. It's like, from my perspective, it's like such a mixed bag. I don't know the black female's agenda with the gender war because it's it's um it's not a collective thing. It's individualistic. It changes with each woman who talks about issues. There isn't a consensus on the major points. And that's the problem. Like, since there's no consensus, there's no direction. Like, if I think with the men, it's like if women would do these things, we would get along better and have better relationships. Uh, you know, some people might feel like some of these things that men or women ask to do is too much. Some of them make sense, some of them don't make sense. Like, you know, um, you know, having better attitudes with each other, that makes sense. Like, toppling white supremacy and, I guess, taking over the government to get relationships to work, that don't make sense. Um, so what is the real deal? You know, because I can't. It's not really about money because let the women tell it the men are broke, and let the men tell it the women are broke. So we ain't talking about millionaires here. We just talking about adults getting along. do some people? I think some people just don't want to get along. In my opinion, some people want to spend their whole life. That's the relationship they want to have is an adversarial relationship with the opposite sex, and it is what it is, you know. And everybody else is just pawns into the game. Um, I see they're nice couples on YouTube who are very happy and they're together, and you can see they're in sync with each other. And they tell you it takes time. You know, you go through your ups and downs. And we all can say that. You know, every relationship ain't gonna be perfect. You're gonna get into arguments. You're gonna have rough patches. You know, I think um, one of the things about the gender war in itself is on both sides is you're not entitled to the perfect relationship. You know, everybody ain't got to be. It doesn't have to be your perfect look, your perfect size, your perfect color, your perfect body type, your perfect financial situation, your perfect sex life, your perfect romance life. Like, come on, man. Seriously? Really? Because nobody's really reciprocating all of the perfection that they're looking for. You know, we got we got fives entitled to dimes out here, and bronze medals wanting to be gold diggers out here. Like it's just not. It's not practical. It's not realistic. Uh, what else goes on? Like the women want to know, you know, who are the, what's up with the men. And see, the problem here's one of the major problems I will say with the female part of the gender war. Um, a lot of faceless people. A lot of faceless people. Like most of the men on YouTube who have issues with the opposite sex show their face. But most of the women that I've seen, they're not they're faceless. And to have a faceless complaint doesn't necessarily make sense. Um, because you can't, it, I hate to say this, but it could be people who are complaining who are not their best selves, complaining that they're not getting the best person on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't work. Um, but what is the gender wars agenda? Like, what are we doing? Because if the men don't want the women and the women don't want the men, then fuck it. Let the shit go. Let the shit slide. Now, if the men want the women and the women want the men, then let's change this from a gender war to a gender negotiation. Just my opinion. I'm out.